Look, ladies and gentlemen, you know what times we're living in. We're living in our last days. So it's only right, if we're going to live in our last days, live your life. As my grandmother used to say, after every single sentence, thank the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. And you know, 9 times out of 10, you cannot go to a Christian person and ask them and tell them what issues you've got with them, because they always relate something to you to the Bible. Like, I had backache when I was growing up, right? And I said to my grandma, I got backache. My grandma looked at me. She was like, I know how you're feeling, son. It reminded me of the time when Jesus was carrying the cross, but he never complained, no. Thank the Lord, the Lord, the Lord.
I know, these feelings never go. I know, I should let go, baby. I know, these feelings never go. I know, I should let go, baby.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today's Extra Time Friday is a LA special.
Yes, it is. But not only is it an LA special, it's got a bit of a twist to it, hasn't it, Quincy?
Yeah, it's got a bit of a twist to it because we're going to be talking to individuals who have made themselves even bigger than they was when they was in their native countries. And I can only say to them, these individuals I know very, very well, and they're quite known, you know what I mean, like ourselves. So I'm going to kick it off, right? So the first person I'm going to introduce to you is a young man I've had the pleasure of sharing the screen with. I've had the pleasure of being in the same manor, right? And he might be posing in an LA hat, but he's Canning Town through and through. So give a round of applause to Mr. Jimmy Akingbola, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy,
love.
How are you, sir?
What's going on?
I'm all right.
I'm good. Thank you for having me on. And we go way back, Quincy. And yeah, man, I'm just excited to be on the show, talking to you both. And I'm not gonna lie, I should have like an E16 on the top of my hat, or E13. I'm actually Plaistow born and bred, not Plaistow, Plaistow. But then you walk 2 minutes up in the Barker Road and you're in Canning Town, and that's when I had my flat. And I would bump into you, Chris.
Today's show is really about you have taken your career to the next level. For obviously you've done Holby City and various other stuff in the UK, but the platform has gone to a next level when you went to LA. So my question really is, of all the places in the world you've gone to make your career well, why LA?
Janelle, Quincy, how cold is it right now?
Yeah.
You see the skin, it needs some sun, man. I get SAD out there.
Do you know what, actually, before you answer, I would just like to say you are, the glow up, the LA glow up out there, Jimmy, is real. I can see it. It's shining through the screen right now.
Thank you so much. You're making me blush right now. You know that. You're making me blush. But no, the real answer is, why LA? I felt like New York has a certain type of energy like London, you know, and I do like the lifestyle of LA. I love I love you can get hiking. Yes, I'm drinking kale. What's kale? I never heard of kale in my life before I got to LA. But there's that sense of why LA, it's the Mecca, right? Everybody from around the world comes here to, no matter if you're from Germany, from, Ghana, Nigeria, it doesn't matter. People come here to compete with the best and to try and raise the bar in their careers. And for me, growing up and seeing our boss, Idris, doing it way back with the Wire stuff. But even before that, Eamon Walker, Marianne Jean-Baptiste,
Adrian Lester, things like that.
Yeah, Adrian Lester, even Sir Lenny Henry, people forget he did that big Hollywood movie out here. So I've been a bit of a nerd. I love to see the giants and the kings that have come before me and be inspired by them. And David Oyelowo, talks about it. He didn't want to move his family out here, but he felt like for him to have the career that his talent deserved, he needed to come out here. But that's an easy thing to say in some respect, but he's still got a bookwork out here. And for me, I've been working in the UK, but I just felt a little bit like the glass ceiling was was still there, and I didn't want to get pigeonholed, and I just wanted to look back on my career and say, you know, I wasn't just a UK actor, I was an international actor, and I think that's the way the business has changed now. If you think about all the shows and all the streaming services, it's an international game right now, and I didn't want to settle just for the UK, but I love the UK, and I always come back. I've been living in LA since 2015, and I always come back for the right job. But right now, here I am doing Bel Air.
Yeah, I can, and we're going to talk about that very, very soon. So did you know that when he mentioned that he comes back and does the right job, me and Jimmy done in the long run?
Yes.
No, but Quincy did tell me, actually. He did tell me.
It was important though, Janelle, that job in the long run, because, you know, he just to come back, if he didn't come back and set up his production company, in the long run wouldn't have happened. And you know, without bashing, you know, the UK, it just shows you the politics and the business side of the game. You know, Idris's name meant that all, you know, a lot of doors are open and you can have conversations, but in essence, if he wasn't there, then I feel like in the long run wouldn't have happened. And then you go, we were the only show on TV that was like so diverse and so authentic, you know, from top to bottom. But if you removed us, there was nothing else like in the long run on TV, even on Sky. Do you know what I mean? We were there before Bulletproof, and so what I like there, you know, Quincy, is like he didn't have to do that. No. And there's been many other actors that haven't set up their production companies or haven't tried to well, I'm gonna say they haven't, but they've not put as much work in to try and change the game in terms of change the situation in the UK. And I was very proud to be a part of that in Green Door and to look around at the, you know, the diversity and inclusivity that we had on the set and behind the scenes, Quincy. It was amazing, wasn't it?
You know, it was.
It's, I mean, you know, the diversity in front of and behind the camera is so important because it's about key decisions that are made that really affect authenticity when it comes to productions. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, often, a lot of productions have missed the mark because they're just missing the key ingredients, which is having a set that gets it, or a cast and a crew and a production crew that gets it. But you know, congratulations in terms of making that transition to stateside and, you know, really being kind of successful in getting jobs, etc. But doesn't it make you feel a little bit bitter, the fact that you've had to leave your home country to get that success?
You know what, you know, I sort of, the way I live my life, I try not to let the bitterness settle in, I think, because this business, tough as it is, and it can sort of weigh you down and affect what you do going forward. So I sort of, yes, frustration, I would probably use that rather than bitter, but also I feel like you can only be frustrated to a certain extent, and then you have to, you know, it's like a jigsaw, it's like a puzzle, work it out. Do I stay and I just get frustrated and disheartened, or do I work it out and I move, you know? Mm-hmm. But when I say I move, I'm not, there's some people, they move and they're like, I'm done with the UK. And I move to say, no, I want to move to the US to enhance what I do in the UK. And the more you work in the US, the more it helps you in the UK. The more you work in the UK, you should get the right work, it helps you in the US. And also, you know, with my company, Trifles Productions, you know, I put my production company and Trifles Creative Network and Dandy, we've always, for 15 years, we've been about inclusivity and change. So, you know, the more I sort of work and the more doors open, I'm still about, you know, effecting change back home in the UK. And so the show that was on recently, Sorry I Didn't Know, that's our production company. We didn't get put with another production company. It's a show, there's nothing else like it out there in the world, and it's a show that's celebrating history, we're not mining trauma. We're celebrating our, you know, our kings and queens, our inventors, you know, and entrepreneurs, not just our singers, sports and actors. You know, we're trying to really educate everyone, because just because we look like who we are, we don't know all our history. We don't get taught all our history, and so I feel for me that's how I balance it. You know, back to your question, it's like it's not about being bitter, but it's like I don't want to stand still. I have to be active. I feel like, you know, being from East London and not being from a family that's in the business and going to a drama school, but from East, not being part of that world, I feel like I've always had to sort of dance a different route, or I have a bit of a Kenyan runner mentality of like seeing where a lot of people are and going, okay, how do I get there? But and acknowledge that my route's going to be different. And I think before I got Holby in 2010, I was doing 3 theatre plays a year, like doing a lot of theatre, National, West End. But I remember I read something Tom Wilkinson said. He said he had to stop doing theatre to give space for film and TV to come in. And I was like, well, that's brave. Like you're older than me, you've got a different career. But I did try it, and I noticed that the space to do certain auditions and jobs changed. And then I went to LA for the first time, and that was when I saw a lot of Brits out here. Ashley Madekwe, Barry Sloane, like Amel Amin came out at the same time in 2010, and he never came back. And so, I don't know, I'm a person that I love seeing people winning, I love being inspired, but that just showed me that I had to move differently. I had to think about doing more TV and film, and I had to think more like internationally, you know, not that I would say it, but internally, my spirit, I had it within me. And then here I am living between LA and London.
And as you talk about that, the Triforce, the production company, sorry I didn't know, the reason why I got a lot of time for the show, because it is, the cast is quite diverse as well, you know what I mean? And you talk about black issues and our history, not just for us as black people to know, but there's the Muslim ladies, there's Russell Kane on there.
Yeah,
Fatia, yeah, sorry, I apologise for that. But it's for other people to know our culture. And one of my favourite parts is when Eddie Caddy breaks down what Congo has delivered to the world. And I got nothing but love for Eddie anyway. But when he broke that down, it was just like, not only was it funny, but it was educational. And it was a moment for people outside of the culture to recognise.
Look at that. Look, thank you so much, guys, for that, for seeing it. Because some people, they say, I don't get it. It's like, what is there not to get? And that came out of also the banter of Nigeria and Congo. Stephen K. almost just trying to drop a little, diss to Congo. But the way that, like you say, Eddie came back at him, but with banter and education, do you know what I mean, and entertainment. I was like, that's what this show is, do you know what I'm saying? And like our first week, when you've got a picture of all these like older white guys, and everyone's saying, well, what is this picture? It's a famous historical picture, but the joke about like it's all the execs deciding, whether we should put Sorry I Didn't Know on or any other show that has a person of colour in it. And it's joke, but there's so much truth into that. It's highlighting that things are still unbalanced. And I think we are in a really good place where we're able to joke, but at the same time, everything we're talking about is factual, and we're able to really go there and educate and everyone. And like, it doesn't matter where you're from or what colour of skin you have, you can get something from this. And that's what I love when people are saying after each episode, I found out so many things that I didn't know before.
I would say that the show inspired me when I remember when the first season came out, and I spoke to you on my radio program, Extra Time Friday radio program, and I was obviously helping to promote. And the shows and shows similar to this is the reason why we're doing these shows today, because it's a lot. We don't just want the one-off shows. We want to see a range of shows speaking those truths, but making it funny, but making it poignant as well. So
there you go.
Well done to you.
There you go. Thank you. But there shouldn't be one, right? Yeah. We're all different. What you do, Janelle likes different from me. What you like, we're all different, got different experiences. So this one in, one out, which also happens, I think, why a lot of actors do go to the US, that needs to change. You can't just have the Kayla Cole show. You can't just have Sorry I Didn't Know. We can't just have Lenny doing his thing. And out of that, the more we have, the more variety is, and also there's less pressure on our community, because there's I do think we are quite hard on ourselves. Like there's not space to grow or fail. Do you know what I mean? Because we only get the one shot. So everyone's like, why are they doing it like that? It's like, no, this is someone else's. We can't please everybody. But if we've got Extra Time, your show, you've got our show, then there's something for everyone. Because it's always been that for other people. Do you know what I mean? But for us, we've only had that one, and so there's so much expectation on certain shows. And I have to give a shout out. I know you've got Gina on here as well. Like Gina Yashere. I read a book recently, is it Cat Handed, and she talks about her journey as a woman, and being Nigerian. Do you know what I mean? And what I love about her book, she talks about being African within the comedy space, and it was very heavily, like full of, heavily slanted towards Caribbean, Jamaican, or whatever, and having to negotiate that and be a woman. Do you know what I mean? And then get into the commercial space, which was very male and white. And just this thing of her peers were opening up for her, and then a year later they're at the Apollo while she's having to work still as an engineer, and you're just going, that's how tough it is, guys. And then she goes to America, and even before this show, Bob Hart's Having Show, she was in New York. You know what I mean? On working on big shows. Yeah. And look, now she's a showrunner, and I just think we need to have more of those stories from the UK, and then people won't need to leave, but. It's not happening at the moment, but I think the more of these stories are highlighting the gap, and I feel like things are slowly changing, but I'm hoping that the wave of change is going to come soon, because people shouldn't have to leave their country.
Well, it's happening. Look, we're going to wrap it up, just let people know you've got an announcement to make. You just recently been casted in a famous sitcom from the 90s and a famous character. Just tell the people what it is.
Guys, I've just been cast as Jeffrey in the retelling of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This one's called Bel-Air. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's big, Jimmy. Well done, because that's such an iconic character, and I imagine that to kind of go in and do the remake of it, if you like, or the recast of it, in that huge kind of character that's known the world over, must be kind of a huge responsibility for you, and you must feel the pressure a bit, but also you must feel a bit sweet about that. So I'm like the new Jeffrey. So well done you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm feeling excited. Yeah, a little bit of pressure. I know Joseph Marcel, who played the original. I called him, and he was like, I was like, Joseph, it's Jimmy. Do you remember me? You played my father in Death in Paradise. He was like, Jimmy, I know.
He's such a cool guy. I've met him many years ago, in fact, a couple of times, and he's so, for somebody whose character was so huge around the world, he's such a cool, down-to-earth guy. So.
Lovely guy. And what I love about this is a drama, guys. So it's not, it's not a comedy, it's a full-on drama. So we're taking all the serious themes that were in the comedy and just enhancing that, and because I feel like it couldn't be another comedy, you know what I mean? Because the original still stands up on its own. So it actually takes the pressure off, actually, because we're doing a retelling of the story.
I'm glad you said that, because I thought it was a comedy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
A lot of people are reading it, but they're not reading that. No, it's a full of drama.
Yeah, I did read the small print.
Yeah. No, but it's like, imagine Only Fools and Horses, Quince. Yeah. And then you take out all the drama. You've still got working class trying to do well. You still got somebody, dealing with the loss of their mother. You got all these themes. You got your brother becomes a father. Do you know what I mean? He didn't have an issue with the baby. You've got all those themes that are there, and that's what this is. And I agree with you. You couldn't remake the comedy. But what's great though is that I didn't know Will Smith and Quincy Jones my bosses. Do you know what I mean? I remember looking at the script. I was like, I thought it was a separate thing, but the fact that all the people involved in this, Benny Medina is from the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and apparently Will Smith gave everybody the nod who got cast. So it's nice to know that my boss is happy with me. I just got to do the work now.
Well, do you know what? I would say that I trust in you and the work you've delivered, and I know you're going to make the character. I know you might slip in a little Canning Town in there. You know what I mean? If you...
Quince! It's going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be really... But yeah, it's going to be different, bro. I'm putting some... Quince, me and Quincy, when he was... I know we're wrapping up, but when we did In the Long Run, Quincy was being really goody two-shoes, but I could see his true comedic genius wanted to come out and basically ad-lib and pepper all across the scene. I was like, Quincy, man, do your thing. And you remember the scene when you did it with Quincy, you started show.
The whole set was cracking up, and that was really funny because it's one of the first times I was been on a set, and I didn't realise that when you change a line, someone's got to write it down. and change it for continuity. And it was like when I just came out with this ad lib.
You must have been a nightmare.
This poor white woman was like, so what does dide mean? How do you spell dide?
Brilliant.
Yeah, but look,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But I am like, I don't want to talk too much, but yeah, Jeffrey's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, watch this space.
Well done. Look, Jimmy, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
We've got your fellow Brits. We're going to be coming on in the show as well. Nothing but love for you. Congratulations, and no doubt we will talk. And keep it with Dick. Keep shining.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jimmy Akingbola, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for watching the show.
So to end the show, it gives me great pleasure to welcome somebody that I've got so much love, admiration, respect for. She's super talented, super funny, super keeps it real. It's Gina Yashere, everybody.
Gina. Thank you for taking your time out, Gina, and coming on the show. This is the second season of Extra Time Friday, man. So I'm just following your footsteps, man, and plenty others.
Go make your own material, mate.
Don't
wait for the gatekeepers. Make your own shit. Am I allowed to swear on the show?
Yes, it's my show. It's my show. You can cuss. You can cuss. Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, if anything that follow through the comedy circuit, you know what I mean. You got to create your own lane and do your own thing. And as everybody's been on today, they have literally done that. And the main question we asked today, of all the places, why LA to make your career to where it is today?
It was just America. I didn't, it was, I came to LA first because I was like, if I'm going to go do comedy abroad, at least I want to live in the sun. I've been watching shows like Melrose Place and all these struggling actors. They didn't look like they were struggling. They were in Melrose Place, they're all living in a nice apartment building with a pool in the middle and hanging out with cool people. So I was like, well, if I'm going to go to America and struggle, and while I'm trying to make it, I want to struggle in the sun where there's swimming pools and sunshine and beaches and whatnot. So that's why I went to LA first. I went to LA, I was there for like 7 years, and I was not making a living in LA. I had to keep leaving LA to make money. Going to England, going back to Australia, going around different parts of America. And I used to go to New York every year for about a month and just do shows. And I'd come back from that month in New York with more money than I'd earned in the entire previous year in Los Angeles. So then I was like, I'm going to go to New York. New York is where it's at. So I moved to New York for 6 years and I loved it. I was working consistently. I was building up my name. I started getting I made my 2 specials. They were out. Then I sold those specials and then I got another Netflix special. So it was going really well in New York and my live stuff was kicking in nicely. But then LA dragged me back with the sitcom, and now I'm back in LA, and LA is much, much better when you're making money.
I hear that. I mean, you mentioned the sitcom. Now, obviously, it's blowing up over here. We haven't got it in this country yet. How is that working out?
And can I just say, it's Bob Hart's Abishola.
Yes.
We had a debate about this earlier.
I was calling it Bob Loves because I just saw the heart and I just thought Abishola. I was calling it Love, but I was corrected. So I apologise. You know what I mean? So when is it coming over to the UK?
I have no idea. You lot need to troll Warner Brothers at Warner Brothers TV. Troll their asses and say, when are we getting a show? This is unfair. Because we're on season 3 now. So I don't know when you're not going to get it. That is above my pay grade. I don't know. I just make the show and act in the show and write the show.
I think we should just say it's coming. It is coming. It's inevitable. It has to.
I think it's going to come.
Yeah.
You got Michael Molly. You get all the other Chuck Lorre sitcoms. So there is no reason why you're not going to get this one.
So Gina, listen, I'm intrigued to know, obviously you made the transition, went to the US and it's been amazing for you and you're doing so well right now, but when you actually made the decision to leave the UK, did you have a plan at the time or did you just think, you know what, I'm just going to go and just see what happens?
Yeah, I had no plan. I didn't know what it was going to be like. And my plan was to go over there. I got on the TV show Last Comic Stand. I've been planning to go to America forever, since childhood. since I was an engineer, I knew I was going to end up living in America. I've wanted to live in America since I was 4. I just thought it was better. It is better. But, you know, as in, when I was an engineer, I worked for an American company. When I was fixing and building lifts, I was working with Otis, which is an American company, and I was always planning to get transferred and work as an engineer in America. So America was always on my radar before I started doing comedy. But when I left to do comedy, I was trying to get, you know, when I first started doing comedy, at the beginning, in 95, 96, when I was doing comedy at the very beginning, I was going out to New York and just going to comedy clubs and meeting up with American comics who worked in England, like J.B. Smoove and Will Sylvince and those guys. And I'd hang out with them in New York and just go up and do shows. So from the beginning, I was planning to go. But, you know, it wasn't easy to get a visa or whatever to work in America, but that was always the plan. Then I got on this TV show in America called Last Comic Standing, which is kind of like a American Idol for comedians in America, and I got through to the final 10. And they got me a 2-year work visa. So I was like, hold on a minute, so this is a 2-year work visa. That means I can live and work in America for 2 years. 2 years. And they were like, yeah. So then I came back to England before the final, sold my house, gave away and sold everything I owned.
Wow.
And threw a big party at my house before I sold it. And everybody came and I was like, yeah, I'm going to America. I ain't coming back. And people were like, you're crazy, you've only got a 2-year work visa. You're gonna have to come back. And I was like, I ain't coming back, trust me, I'm gonna make this work. And then so I turned up in America with 2 suitcases. I didn't know where I was gonna live. I got kicked out of that show. I thought I was gonna win the show and get and go on to be a millionaire within the year. I got kicked out of that show, the 2nd episode of the final, whatever. And then so I had to quickly scramble to find somewhere to live. And then my plan was just to go around all the comedy clubs and just do work and let people see how good I am, and then get paid for the comedy until I landed on a TV show or whatever. So that was the plan, just go there and start the grind from the beginning, just hit all the clubs and just go around and just go, here I am, let me do a set, give me some money, and try and make my living that way. And that was the plan. It didn't work out exactly like that, because in LA, nobody pays you at the comedy clubs. In England, the comedy clubs, they pay you good money because the comedy club is based on their reputation. People come to the comedy club based on their reputation. So, you know, if you're going to a comedy store, you don't know who's going to be on the show, but you go because the comedy store is a reputable club and you know that whoever's on the bill is going to be good, so it's going to be worth your money. Whereas the comedy clubs in LA, they base, the audiences come based on who's going to be on. Yeah. So they book stars to headline the clubs, and then those stars bring in the people. But because nobody knew who I was in America, then comedy clubs were like, well, we're not going to book you because nobody knows who you are. You don't know bring any people. So I couldn't get a foothold. I used to just sit in the clubs, just watching other comics. And then when, like, you know, the opening comics, the open for the big stars, if one of them was running late, I'd go, well, I'm here, let me go up and just do 5 minutes because your guy's late, and if you don't want the show to run late, let me go. And that's basically how I got my name out in Hollywood, just by sitting in the back of the clubs, just waiting for someone to fuck up. And then I'll be right in there, and go, let me do 5. And that's basically how I got Def Comedy Jam.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Isn't that an amazing story though, Quincy?
You know, no, definitely. Yeah. I've been down that road when I gigged in New York, and I was like, why is there 30 comics waiting? And they're just waiting to get their chance. What I do want to address with yourself, as much as we know you as a funny lady, actor and writer, one of the things I love about you is that your activism, and you are still very passionate about your people, and you do not mince your words. And this, one of the examples was when you spoke about Meghan and the Harry and the baby situation. So when these topics come up of a country you was born, and you're the other side of the water, you know what I mean? How does that make you feel? Are you just as passionate to educate those, or you just get it out off your chest?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always been a person that spoke my mind, that spoke the truth, and I think that held me back a lot. I think that's why it took me so long to get to where I am, because the powers that be were kind of frightened of me in my mouth. You know, they were always looking for a less outspoken, more palatable version of me. Hence, I kept getting passed over for things like shows and things like that. So they go, oh yeah, we like Gina's good, but let's give a show to Jocelyn G instead, or let's boost up Andy Osho instead, because they're not as scary, and that shouldn't be the way it is. Well, I shouldn't be competing with other black women or other black comics for that one spot. So I've always been outspoken. I've always just said what I said. And, at first I tried to play the game and not, to be smiley, happy Gina and not rock the boat too much. But that didn't help me either. So then I was like, well, fuck it. Why am I pretending to be not who I am? Let me just be who I am, because it's not going to make any difference to my career anyway. So let me just be who the hell I am and say what I want. If people don't like it, then I don't like it. But there'll be an audience of people who like it. And if I can keep making a living with those people who like what I do, then that's what I do. Then that's what it is. So, but I've always just spoken my mind. And whether I'm in England, I'm British, I'm always going to be from London. Always, no matter where I am in the world. Listen to my voice. I've been in America 14 years. My accent ain't changed for shit. I'm not one of them Brits that come to America for 3 weeks and they come back with a drawl. Not me, mate. So I'm a London girl, the UK, born and bred, always will be. So when I see stuff happening in England, I still feel the same anger, I still feel the same connection, and I will still speak on it. And I also speak on things that are happening in America, because at the end of the day, the black experience, is different depending on where the colonizers took you, but the experience, we've still got a commonality in that, so I'll always speak on it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Do you know what I was going to say, Quincy? Is that we've spoken about being your true, authentic self on this season already, and how important it is, and especially in this day and age, how much just showing up as yourself, that's when the magic happens. And I appreciate that in years gone by, the gatekeepers, if you like, weren't happy with the authentic Gina, or didn't want the authentic Gina to come through. But you know what? You persevered, you persisted, and you stayed true to yourself, and that's why everyone loves you so much, Gina. We love you because you are who you are, and you keep it real, and you're not up there saying, well, I'm here and I better not rock the boat, and so I'm not going to speak on certain things. You just keep it real, so we love that.
And it's in your book, you know what I mean? A lot of it resonates in your book, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, if you got my book, get my book up here. Just in case you ain't
Cheers for the Builder's Bug as well.
If you ain't bought my book,
I've got it.
Buy the book, mate.
No, it's very honest in the book. You know what I mean? Cocky-handed, and it's very, very honest. But there's one thing I will say that you have changed, which I didn't know you for. You got a dog.
I saw you playing chase with your dog on Instagram.
To me.
I was like, Gina has. Look at her with the dog. I couldn't believe it. Like, these are the conversations I never had with this woman in the green room. She's got a dog.
I fought against it for many years, but I've got a missus who's an animal lover, and we've been together 7 years. And for the 7 years, every day she was like, I want a dog, and I'm like, no, I don't do dogs. Do you not see my material? I don't do dogs. I don't like dirt. I don't want hair everywhere. I don't want none of that. And then during the pandemic, we were locked in the house for like a year, and we enjoyed each other coming, we get on well and all that. But then I was like, it might be fun to get a dog, maybe. And I was like, it's got to be a small dog. I don't want listen. And so we got this dog. And she's a little Australian Shepherd, mini Australian, so she's small, but she's smart, which I love. I don't want no dumb dog. And she's trained. We bought her bells. We hang bells on the door. And when she wants to go to the toilet, she rings the bell. We trained her. Every time we took her out to pee and poo, we put a little paw on the bell. So now she knows, don't pee or poo in the house because mummy will kick you through the window. So she rings the bell, bring, and then looks at us like, bitch, you better hurry up, I need to go to the toilet. If you want me to not pee on your rug, you better open this door right now. And so she does not pee or poo, she's very well trained. And she's only 11. I love this dog like a child.
Yeah, I've seen, do you know what?
I love this dog like it crawled out of my own vagina.
Yeah, you and Curtis is like proper shock me, man, because Curtis is the exact same with his dog.
With his dog, he spoke about his dog.
Like, we're going to wrap it up here, but Janelle is a big fan of your Tune Tuesdays.
Well, I'm a big fan. I follow you on Insta because, like, there are certain people that you just got to follow, and you're one of them because you're so funny And it's not just about what you're doing in your professional career, but it's also just about your life. I love seeing that. I saw when you built the pool and etc. I saw when you were playing chase with the dog. What's the dog's name, by the way?
You got a stalker?
Her name is Kemi, named after my character.
Kemi.
That's right,
So
yeah.
when you played chase with the dog and the dog chased you around the apartment, that was hilarious. But I love tunes on Tuesday, and can I just say that I am allowed to comment because I am past the 30 mark.
Okay, fair enough. I only pick tunes for the oldies. I don't do none of this mumble rap bollocks that you gotta listen to. I only do real music on my tunes on Tuesday.
Where did that come? Why and where did that come from? Before you leave us.
It was just one of those things. I just wanted to, because people use social media to sell things to people all the time. Come buy this, buy things, whatever. And I just use it. I use it for that, but I also use it to connect with my fans and the people that I know, So for me, it's just a way of connecting and getting people to know me a little bit better. And I love old school music, so it was just an accident. I just did it one day. I was just sitting in the house. I do it with Nina now, but I used to do it before my own. I just sit there and play a tune. And then I noticed that people were really engaged. They'd comment on it. So I was like, oh, people really like this. Let me just do it every week if I can. I mean, I missed the last couple of weeks. Work has been crazy. But I was like, let me just do this every week. It's a fun thing to do, to share my love of music and to get people comment in and I can argue with people about who sang it better or whatever. And it just became a fun thing for me to do. It wasn't anything cynical about it. It was just a fun thing.
Yeah. Well, I would say that 90% of the tunes you play, I know, being a DJ. And I don't want to really always message in all the time, but yeah, you know music, man. You know music, so I got to give it up to you. Yeah. And your missus in the back there doing little dances. All right, that's what I see.
She's not living for a while.
Gina, thank you for taking your time out, man. It's been a pleasure, man. Like I said, I'm following in your footsteps amongst others who have made that transition. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not waiting for the gatekeepers. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing here. You know what I mean?
Do your thing, make your own thing. I've always said that, you know.
You've told, yeah, you have
3 specials by myself, 3.
That's right.
With my own money. I was like, if Netflix ain't gonna give me a special, I'm not waiting for Netflix. I'm gonna make my own special and then sell it to Netflix. And that's that. All my specials are on Netflix now.
That's right.
So make your own way, and then when you do make it, turn around and pull other people through. Like I turned around. When I got this show, I called everybody. I called Stephen K. I called Curtis. I was like, listen, the sitcom coming out. I'm involved. I helped create it, audition for the show, and I got a couple of my friends in the writers' room. So I'm making sure that there's black people in the writers' room on every level of the process of making this show, and just pulling in my people, and that's what you got to do. Like nobody did that for me. Yeah. But I'm not bitter about that. I'm going to turn around and do it for other people.
Yeah. Love that.
And on that note, Gina, thank you very much. And give a round of applause. Gina Yashere! By the book! And your house ain't that clean, stop lying. That's the Zoom room! So what's going on, people? Yours truly, Cockney Prince Quincy, officially in the building. It's the last one of the series. Extra Time Friday. We are going to be back for season 3, so watch this space. I want to big up everybody for giving us love and support. Big up my co-host Janelle, nothing but love for her. So we're going to end our series with a bang on a spiritual high with the wonderful talents of the Big Gospel Choir.